Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun little shop or drop video where I take you through some new skincare releases and I tell you whether I would personally buy them. So we're actually in a different room today. We're in my bedroom this time instead of the guest room slash I think I'm gonna make the guest room also my office because I just need like a dedicated space now that I am self-employed and I work from home. It's just kind of a lot to have my, leisure space also be my workspace downstairs in the living room. So I think that's potentially going to happen. So anyway, let's get into the shop or drop. So the first product I wanted to talk about is the Tatcha, the Dewy Serum Resurfacing and Plumping Treatment. Okay, this is $88 for 1 ounce, which is kind of shocking. Just for reference, like usually the size of a foundation bottle is 1 ounce. So if you're ever like, what is an ounce? It's usually the size of your typical foundation bottle. So let's talk a little bit about what it technically is. So on the Sephora website, it says a 3-in-1 serum that smooths the look of fine lines and texture from lactic acid with Hades 3. I don't really know what that is. That's like their trademarked like super secret ingredient. It says visibly plumps with hyaluronic acid and locks in moisture with squalene. Okay, so this is actually very interesting to me because it's threefold. So it has that chemical exfoliation action from the lactic acid, which by the way is an alpha hydroxy acid. I get asked all the time, what's the difference between AHAs and BHAs? So there are a lot of differences, but to kind of sum it up, and maybe I'll make a video about this because I think the chemistry is actually very interesting. But the gist of it is that alpha hydroxy acids are water soluble and beta hydroxy acids are oil soluble. So I think that's like one of the biggest differences between the molecules, kind of overarching themes between the two molecules. So as a result, AHAs tend to be very hydrating and kind of resurfacing, whereas BHAs are more pore focused. So there are many different types of AHAs. There's glycolic acid, which, in dermatology and in skincare formulations, we consider like the gold standard because it is the most documented. It's also the most powerful of the AHAs. So that's glycolic acid. And then you have other ones like lactic acid and mandelic acid. There are others, but those are like the main big three. So the difference between lactic acid and say glycolic acid, it basically boils down to molecular size. So they are both AHAs and they both technically perform the same actions, but the main difference is that lactic acid is a bigger molecule than glycolic acid, which is a smaller molecule. So because lactic acid is bigger, it's not able to penetrate the skin as deeply, and therefore it's a lot more gentle and kind of better suited for sensitive skin. So with an AHA like this, you can probably expect to see, smoother skin, brighter skin. It'll help to fade that hyperpigmentation. And then of course, like because AHAs are inherently hydrating, you will experience some hydrating benefits. But like Tatcha said, this is threefold. So you have the chemical exfoliation part and then you have the hydration part. So this does have hyaluronic acid in it. And something important to note is that hyaluronic acid is like not a single ingredient. You can get it from many different suppliers. You can get different types of hyaluronic acid. The Inky list may just say hyaluronic acid, but that doesn't really tell you a lot about the molecule that you actually have in the product. So when you have a hyaluronic acid serum that's like $300 compared to one that's like $5, it's probably because the supplier is different, because the quality of the hyaluronic acid is different, that kind of thing. So with something like this, hydration is instant, so you probably will see immediate benefits from the hydration because the way the hyaluronic acid works is that it's basically a water-loving molecule. So what it'll do is when you apply it topically to your skin, it'll bring up moisture that's deep inside your skin to the surface to visibly plump up the skin and just make your skin really hydrated. And here's the last part that I think is actually really cool. So this has the really hydrating elements, but it also has oils in it, which I think is very smart and very interesting. So it probably has, a creamy emollient texture to it. It's still very lightweight, but it still has a little bit of a creamy emollient texture. And I think I'm right because I looked at some texture pictures that are on the Sephora website and it looks like it would be that. So locking in moisture is really, really important because you can have all the hydrating products in the world, but that won't make a difference if you're not sealing it all in, because transepidermal water loss is real. The rate of transepidermal water loss, or basically water leaving your skin into the environment, is determined by a lot of different things. It can be determined by the environment, the health of your skin, the age of your skin. It can also be heavily impacted by the products that are on your skin. So you can actually help to decrease transepidermal water loss by introducing these more kind of emollient, occlusive ingredients into your skincare routine. So originally I didn't want this because I was like, oh my God, $88 for 1 ounce, that's really crazy. But now talking through it, I feel like I want to try it because I feel like this could be a very special product because it is one of those like creamy, you know, like chemical exfoliant type products. It reminds me a little bit of Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow, which I love. So I am a little bit interested to see how it compares to Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow, because that AHA is just unlike anything I've ever experienced. So jury's still out if I am going to actually buy this, but I'm slowly convincing myself that I need to try it. Okay, so the next product is the Ren Brightening Dark Circle Eye Cream. So I actually find eye creams that claim to brighten dark circles to be a little bit misleading, because I don't think it actually addresses the root problem of dark circles. And I think dark circles in most people are caused by, you know, 3 different things. So it's caused by genetics, first of all, especially in women of color like myself. Dark under eyes are very, very common. Hyperpigmentation is very common under the eye area and also like around the mouth area. It's just, you know, it's genetic. Additionally, the skin underneath the eye area is very, very thin. That's just physiologically how the skin is structured in that eye area. And then also your bone structure really can affect how dark circles look because of your bone structure. And an eye cream is not going to change your genetics, the thickness of your skin, or your bone structure. So I don't really believe in eye creams for like drastically brightening dark circles or anything. I don't think it really addresses the core problem. You can address dark circles by doing stuff like under eye filler. Obviously, that's not an eye cream. That's definitely a procedure you have to go to like a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon for. So that's kind of why I have a sour attitude about eye creams in general that claim to brighten the under eye area, just because I feel like it's not really addressing what's really at play here. That being said, I do like eye creams here and there. Like for example, the Good Molecules Yerba Mate eye gel. I absolutely love that one. It's only $6. It's super, super affordable. I don't really use eye creams to necessarily brighten the under eye area. I use it more so in the morning actually as like a little treat for getting out of bed early. If it's really early in the morning, I love to just kind of slap some like cooling under eye gel underneath my eyes. I think it feels really good and it feels nice. So I personally have never seen, you know, transformational kind of effects from an eye cream. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant to be like, oh, this eye cream is gonna change your life, because I've never experienced it. That's not to say that that doesn't happen. There are definitely people that swear by certain eye creams, and power to them. I just personally have never experienced that. That being said, adding hydration to the under eye area does help to plump up the area, and also just supplying hydration to your skin in general is always a good idea. Dehydrated, dry skin underneath the eye area can really cause, you know, fine lines, wrinkles. It's just generally a good idea to keep your skin really hydrated. Hydrated skin does not age as much as dehydrated dry skin. But in my opinion, you don't have to spend $50 on an eye cream like this one. I personally would not. So this is a pass for me. Definitely not gonna buy this. I'm very content with my Good Molecules eye gel. I can buy like 6 of those, or I can buy one of these Ren eye creams. You do the math. So the next product I wanted to talk about is from JLo Beauty. I know we're all really tired of celebrity skincare lines, but this is that blockbuster Wonder Cream with hyaluronic acid. So first of all, like I said, I'm tired of celebrity skincare lines. Just slapping your name on something and coming out with some like average products, it doesn't sit well with me, especially because I'm a brand founder now and I understand how hard it is to build a brand, and it just feels like there's a good way to do things and then there's like a lazy way to do things. For example, Selena Gomez's makeup line Rare Beauty, I think she did a great job with that. JLo Beauty, I don't really know if I really like it. Another great example is Fenty Skin and Fenty Beauty. I think those brands are wonderful. I think Rihanna did a really good job being very thoughtful behind the whole brand and everything. Like her team is on point with the branding. But I don't know, JLo Beauty to me just seems really boring, and this moisturizer looks really, really boring too. The only fun thing about it is the packaging, and the packaging actually reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I think they look very, very similar, or at least in my head they do. And it also looks like the texture of the moisturizer is really, really similar as well. It's kind of like a thick, rich, kind of luxurious cream texture, and it's supposed to also be like a primer, which normally I would love, but I don't like jar packaging for the most part, especially when it's something this expensive. I do want it to be in like a tube packaging to keep the ingredients stable. And also the ingredients look kind of boring. There's no super strong ingredients in here that make me like stop in my tracks and be like, oh wow, that looks really great, or like this looks like a really thoughtful formulation. It is a thoughtful formulation, don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't know, like a homemade like moisturizer type thing. It's definitely thoughtful, it's sophisticated, but the star ingredient here is this like olive complex. It's called the JLo Beauty Olive Complex. It's a blend of squalane, fermented oil, extra virgin oil, and leaf extract, which delivers rich hydration, which is nice. I can't think of another brand that harnesses the power of olives. So looking at the ingredients list, there's like squalane, there's shea butter, dimethicone, like olive oil, like there's a lot of like rich emollient occlusive ingredients in here, which again, normally I would really love. Nothing about this is really grabbing me. Like it just doesn't, it kind of falls flat in terms of branding, packaging, kind of the claims that it has. I'm just not into it. Also, this is $58 for 1.7 ounces, which is kind of up there in price. This is a pass for me only because I'm just not excited about it. I want my skincare to be exciting and fun and something I look forward to every single day, twice a day, you know, morning and night. I want to look forward to my skincare routine. This is just not really doing it for me. Personal preference really does matter. It's very likely that this product is actually phenomenal and I am just passing on it because it doesn't speak to me, and that's totally valid. I mean, you're watching this video because you maybe care about my personal opinions about skincare, so I'm definitely not the end-all be-all. If you want to try this moisturizer, it's probably great. I just don't personally think I will enjoy it. The last product on my little shopper drop is the Josie Maran Whipped Argan Pro Retinol Body Butter. This is very tricky. So unlike the name kind of halfway suggests, and this might just be me being ignorant about what pro retinol is, but when I first saw this I was like, oh, it has a retinol in it, hence the name pro retinol. No. So the pro retinol kind of name in the title of this product had me fooled. Pro retinol doesn't actually mean retinol, and I didn't know what pro retinol was prior to stumbling across this product, so I had to look it up. So on the L'Oreal website, pro retinol is described as precursor forms to retinoic acid, which includes molecules such as retinaldehyde and retinol esters. However, rather than listing these molecules, cosmetic products often label pro-retinol as a way to indicate a product's potential to form retinoic acid once it comes in contact with specific enzymes in the skin. So this is really important to note because the most bioavailable form of what we know as retinol is retinoic acid. So retinoic acid is also known as tretinoin. It's the most like bioavailable form of retinoids in general, which your skin does not have to do any conversion steps in order to use it. So I feel kind of stupid. Did you know what pro retinol was? Because I feel like I didn't know and I had to look it up and I was like, oh, that's kind of misleading because pro retinol, I feel like it should be called pre-retinol or something because it's not retinol. It's not like a sophisticated form of retinol. Maybe I'm totally missing the mark and I'm just not understanding, but let me know what you think. So the pro retinol in here is kind of convoluted. So this contains pink algae, and pink algae allegedly contains beta carotene, and the beta carotene is a precursor to retinol, which by the way, retinol has to then convert to retinaldehyde and then retinoic acid. So there are multiple conversion steps that you have to get to the final form, retinoic acid. And keep in mind that with every conversion step, it doesn't convert 100%. There's some sort of equilibrium kind of constant in there that dictates how much of the original kind of ingredient converts to its next form. So I definitely don't expect this to deliver the same results as something that actually has retinol in it. So this is probably mostly just very hydrating, very moisturizing, very just softening, I guess, because of all the emollient ingredients in here. The ingredients themselves look really beautiful. I love Josie Maran's kind of body butters. I had a bunch of them in college and I really enjoyed them. Also, it sounds like it's expensive for a body cream because it's $46, but this is 8 ounces, which means that this is just under $6 per ounce, which is actually very inexpensive for, I think, a product of this quality. I actually might pick this up because it actually looks really great. I've actually been on a huge body cream kick lately. I have like a ton of body creams that I'm testing out right now. One of them is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Body Cream, which is just incredible. I will be talking about that one in a future video. But yeah, that's generally the gist of this shopper drop. Let me know if there are any products that I expressed interest in that you are curious about, because I might I might pull the trigger and buy them. I'm not gonna lie, I have a ton of new products in my backlog that I've been meaning to test out or that I have been testing out, so expect to see a ton of new product on my channel. As always, I'm always so curious to hear your thoughts on all of the products that I talked about in my shop or drop videos, so let me know in the comments if you would shop these products or drop these products. What are your thoughts on them? Also, what are your thoughts on pro-retinol? I feel like it's such a misleading term, but again, I might be completely miss the mark, and just let me know what you think. But with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching and spending this time with me. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.